A great Indian leader, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, said, "Freedom is my birthright and I shall have it." Yes, freedom is a fundamental right. Even birds and animals like to live in a free atmosphere. Good morning, students. Today we are starting the 10th chapter of your book, that is India Wins Freedom. By the end of this chapter, you will understand how the Britishers who came to India for trading purpose and how they became rulers, how they exploited the wealth of the country and how they started sending it to their own country, and how our freedom fighters fought with them for our freedom. European merchants in India. Indian goods were in great demand in European market. Goods like cotton, silk, cloth, medicine, etc. were sold in the European market. The Portuguese, the Dutch, and the English and the French established their company in India for the purpose of trade. But soon they started fighting. And then came the British merchant and they established the English East India Company in India. The British gained firm footing and came to power. Although the British came to India for trading purpose, but soon they started ruling India. How they started ruling India? The Britishers set up trade centers in many places with the permission of Mughal Emperor Jahangir. But soon they started flouting the rules. They misused the trading facilities in Bengal. But Sirajuddaulah took stern actions against them. Sirajuddaulah was defeated by Britishers in Battle of Plassey in 1757. And same with Alam Shah too. He was also defeated in Battle of Buxar. And in next 50 to 60 years, Britishers increased their power and started ruling India. The Revolt of 1857. Indians were very unhappy with the Britishers. Mangal Pandey gave vent to that discomfort. In 1857, Hindu-Muslim leaders came together. Indian leaders nominated Bahadur Shah Zafar as commander-in-chief. Then they rose a war. Initially, they got success, but Britishers defeated them. And Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was commander-in-chief, was imprisoned. And Bahadur Shah Zafar was the last Mughal emperor in India. This revolt of 1857 is also known as First War of Independence. New ideas and new awakening. The failure of the revolt of 1857 led to the rise of several religious and social bodies that aimed at awakening the people. These bodies were Brahmo Samaj, which was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy; Ram Krishna Mission, which was founded by Swami Vivekanand; Arya Samaj, founded by Swami Dayanand; Pratna Samaj, founded by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya; Anglo-Arabic Indian Society, founded by Sir Syed Ahmad; the Servant of Indian Society, founded by Sri Gopal Krishna Gokhale. And all these great thinkers sowed the seeds of modern ideas in India. These ideas gave a new dimension to the Indian society. Then came Lord Dalhousie. Lord Dalhousie had introduced railway, modern roads, and postal services in India. These things helped the above named social leaders a lot to create feeling of national unity among the people of various parts of the India. And the knowledge of English helped them to understand the political system. The Britishers considered the Indians to be inferior people, so they denied them equal status with the Europeans. Shri S.N. Banerjee, an ICS officer, was also not allowed the same status as they used to give to the Britishers. Our freedom fighters' patriotic song Vande Mataram, composed by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, was also banned, and it fanned the flame of national spirit among the Indian people. Indian National Congress. Some Indian leaders decided to establish an all India organization named as Indian National Congress. founder were assisted by retired British service officer A.O. Hume. The first session was commenced on 20th December 1885 with two chief demands. What were those demands? Local self-government at lower level and opening higher posts for Indians too. But Britishers didn't accept these demands and they played very smartly. What they did? They started divide and rule policy. They persuaded Sir Syed Ahmad Khan to leave the Congress and thus caused a Hindu-Muslim rift. And when Lord Curzon came, he also did the same thing. He also started divide and rule policy. He divided the province of Bengal into two parts on the pretext of good administration, but its aim was clear. He wanted to divide or wanted to separate Hindu and Muslim. This created an unrest among the Indian leaders. A movement against this started. The British arrested the leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai and Bipin Chand Pal. Tilak, known as the father of Indian unrest, was jailed and sent to Burma. He was released in 1914 and he resumed his national activities, carried them on till he died in 1920. So students, that's all for today. Rest of the chapter we will do in our next video. Thank you.